Hey everyone, so Chop back with our video, and as you can see, we are farming Gemini Dragon without Gangelo. This is pretty impressive, and this is not my comp, but I want to talk about it. I want to let you know how to build it and how you can get to farming Gemini 12, 13, and 14, although 13 and 14 are going to need some really high stats. Let's get into it. So here we are, and as you can see, I beat the Hell Stage 13 or 1 and 2, 13 and 14 here, and that is the first time I've ever done that, so that's really cool. And this is the comp we're using. We're using Blackhorn, Yolanda, Santis, and Hewlins. Now, I believe this comp was made by someone named Mirrodin. I'm not sure. Maybe it was like Mirrodin. I don't remember, but I just kind of stumbled upon this comp when I entered the Ace official Discord. So whoever created it, props to you. But we are still using a legendary in Blackhorn. Everyone else is obtainable, but Blackhorn is not. So there is that little problem with this comp, still similar to the Gangelo situation. So there is that, but we are going to need some very high stats in order for this comp to work. And I do want to mention my Gemini 12 is at 100%. My Gemini 13 is not quite at 100%, it's about an 80% win rate. And the main reason for that is I didn't have a guard set because I haven't farmed Gemini 12 a bunch. And you need a guard set on your Blackhorn in order for this comp to be 100%. And then on 14, it's about a 60% win rate. And the main thing for that is that my stats are just not high enough. I do not have the tanky stats. I ran out of charms upgrading gear, and I can't upgrade any more gear, so I can't really test 14 at 100% win rate. But let's jump into the stats here and just go over everything that you need to know. So first thing is the ad speed at stage 14 is at 183. So you need to be above 183 in order to go before the ads. Now, Hewlins needs to go first here in this comp in order to apply the no positive effects and the poison right off the get-go. He's at 1700 attack, 20k HP, 1400 defense, and 111% focus. A few things with this. First off, if you can get the attack higher, it'd be great. And I'll go over why that is later on. You'll see it. We need to do a little bit of fluff damage to the boss. And then the HP is usually at a good amount. You might want like 500 to 1,000 more HP. The defense is a little low. You're going to want about 1,500 defense, for my experience, to beat stage 14 consistently. So the tankier stats are a little bit low, and even the focus is a little bit low. You're probably going to want about 130% focus or 120%. I'm not sure what the sweet number is there. I did see Hewlins get resisted a few times when I was running the stage 14, testing it and kind of coming up with a 50% win rate. So you're going to want all those stats a little bit higher, but he is definitely the hardest to gear because of his low base stats. He is in a revival set and a raider set. You don't need the raider set, but you do need the revival set. Santis is the next hardest to gear here, and we need a couple things. First off, we need her to have the highest attack on the squad so that Yolanda passes the bonus turn over to her. You want about 21k HP. This is a little bit low on the HP. You're going to want about 1,500 defense, both of those numbers, in order to survive stage 14. She's at 185 speed. You're going to want her to go either before Blackhorn or after Blackhorn. It doesn't really matter, but you're going to want her to go before the ads as well. You want maxed out crit rate here in order for you to do enough damage, fluff damage to the boss for the turns to line up to where the boss is at exactly 49%. In order for us to proc the bonus turn exactly when we want it. So 100% crit rate is actually really important. And you're going to have 130% focus. I do get the occasional resistance here at 123%. Then we have the next one, which is Blackhorn, and he is the second or the third hardest to build here. We're going to want as much attack as we can get it, except beneath Santis' attack. And then we're going to want as much HP as we can get and a lot more defense here. You're going to want about 1,600 defense, 1,700 defense for my experience. You may even want a little bit more HP as well. You're going to want to go before the ads again. You don't care if you're going 184 after Santis or before Santis. It doesn't really matter. And then you're going to want 100% focus in order for us to land the attack down on the boss. Very important for all that. And then the last one is Yolanda here, and she is at 1,700 attack. You're going to want as much attack as you can get, obviously right after Santis. 22k HP, 1700 defense. You want the tanky stats a little bit higher here as well. The speed here, you're going to want her to go before Blackhorn, so right at 186 is perfect. You can see here the speed numbers are like 1 apart, and that's because with the constraints with my gear, I had to make sure I got these numbers, and so I just don't have the gear in order to improve my stats. You could go with a little bit of crit rate here on Yolanda if you can get it to get that little bit extra damage, although I don't think it's super necessary. I'd much rather get the crit rate on Santis. You don't care about the focus or anything like that on Yolanda here, but you do want a little bit extra tanky stats. So that's the whole rundown of the comp. As I said, you're going to want extra tanky stats on pretty much all the characters here, a little bit more focus on Hulins and Santis, and of course, at the end of the day, you're going to want a little bit more damage on all your units if you can get it, in order for us to get enough bluff damage to reach that 49% when we need it. So what I'm going to do is jump into the battle here and give you a test run. I believe my stage 14 dungeon is likely to fail, but we're going to try it. And I'll talk through where it fails and why it fails. But my stage 13 should succeed here. So we're going to test both of them. We are going to be running the Shield of Mercy and the Gaia's Renewal spell. Both of these are extremely important. You cannot replace any of these spells, and you cannot replace anyone in this specific comp. I believe you need the Cleanse from Blackthorn, you need the Shield and the bonus turn from Yolanda, and then you need the extra poison and no positive effects from Hulins, and then you need the damage from Santis. The Shield of Mercy spell is very, very crucial because you are going to end this battle at round 6, and the Shield of Mercy is going to keep us alive when the dragon enrages. So we're going to talk through that and just go through all that as the rap battle is playing. Let's go ahead and check it out. So we're entering battle here, and as I mentioned, I don't have the guard set, and the real reason for that is you want the guard set to soak the hits so that Yolanda does not use her shielding skill on that second round. But right here, you're going to see the Shield of Mercy goes out. Doesn't matter. Yolanda's going to get the bonus turn to Santis because she's got the most attack. And then we're going to have all the ads go right after us. We got to make sure everyone's going before the ads. And those two hits right there, usually if you have a guard set, they're going to go on to Blackthorn. And then everyone's going to get to max HP here. But right here, you could see that we are taking a little bit of damage, and not everyone is capped out on their HP. Now, right there, Yolanda used her basic, and that's exactly what we want to happen. But oftentimes, I will not have the tankiness to survive the hits and get back to full HP. Either the tankiness needs to be improved, or Blackthorn needs to have that guard set in order for Yolanda to use that shield skill right here on this turn, because the boss you'll see is at 55% right now, and you need him to go down to 49% at the end of this turn, which is one of the reasons why we need the attack on the units. And then he's going to triple attack here, and that's why we need the shield to make sure that our characters are pretty much surviving through that. And then we need to make sure that Blackthorn doesn't use his healing skill until this turn right there, in order for us to basically live and live through the end of this fight here. It's going to go to round 6. And then at the end of the round 6, it's going to be battle over. That's when the Shield of Mercy skill resets. Perfect timing. You'll see here that we're going to get quite low, and we may even lose still. I'm not even sure because, again, it's very, very low percentage win rate. It's like 50%, but that's really due to the tankiness of our squad. And if we survive this set, pretty much, we should be good to go. We did survive it. And then round 6 is going to happen. You need Blackthorn to cleanse off the no positive effects. Apply the shield skill. And then we are going to win this battle, assuming we did enough bluff damage in order for our poisons to kill off here. But the boss is going to enrage here and kill off everyone. But because we have the Shield of Mercy spell, we are going to ignore that whole fact. And we are going to win. Looks like the boss is at 2%. And right there, that is basically due to the fact that we didn't do enough bluff damage in order for us to win. And I think we're going to die here. We are, but that 2%er, that is because we did not do enough bluff damage on the boss. Or one of the poisons got resisted. I'm not 100% sure because we do not have the maxed out focus on Santis. But I'll go ahead and run the battle again just to showcase a win here. So we're jumping into battles here on stage 13 because it's very, very difficult. Like I said, it's that 40-50% win rate without the guard set, as well as not having quite enough stats for 14. 13, we have the stats where we want them, but we still don't have the guard set, so it's not a 100% win rate. If we had the guard set, this 13 would go to 100%, and the 14 would go to like a 70-80%. We would still need a little bit more tanky and damage stats for our characters here. But I wanted to showcase 13 just to showcase how much different the damage that we're actually dealing is. And right here, you can see Yolanda uses that first skill. Usually that happens. However, even on stage 13, as I mentioned, you have the rare scenario in which they deal too much damage. They're on that higher end of the variable damage. And then Blackthorn ends up, or Yolanda rather, ends up using that shield skill on that second turn. but we should have enough stats as well as between the fluff damage and the poisons that we're landing in order for our boss to die off here. So we're just going to let it play out same way as before. This is the stage 13 as I mentioned. And you can see we are taking just so much less damage here from comparatively to the stage 14 dungeon. And that's just really what stage 14 is all about. It's just that you need more speed, you need more focus, you need more HP, you need more defense, and you need more damage. It's very, very difficult for that 14 comp. Way harder to gear than something like a Gangelo comp for sure. But it is doable, which is nice. So we're just gonna let this finish off here. We're very, very close to ending the battle. One thing that's cool about this is that it is a very, very quick run. I believe it was like a minute 45, 2 minutes. Obviously, it's not like the Gangelo runs here, but it is decently quick for those of you that are running the Queens, the Ash, and you may be running a 3-4 minute comp. This is a significant improvement over that, as well as the bonus of being able to farm Gemini Dragon. But that should be enough poisons. We have 7 poisons on the boss, which means that we're going to do 21% here, and the boss is going to die off, even though he did enrage here. And this is what normally happens here on stage 13. The only way we lose is that beginning volley, where we do use Yolanda's second shielding skill, or the shielding skill on the second turn. But that is the completion of stage 13. What I recommend if you do plan on building out this comp and trying to go for stage 14 is you'll need to increase Hulin's, Santis's, and Blackhorn's tankier stats, even Yolanda's a little bit. You also need a little bit more crit rate, preferably that 100% on Santis, or just get the attack up of everyone's stats a little bit higher. And the last thing that you'll want to do is make sure that Santis gets to that 130% focus, because if we tab back into Santis here, she does have that 123% focus, which is, I'm pretty sure, the reason why we lost that stage 14 clear. I didn't see the resistance pop up, but I believe it did happen. And we were about 3% off, or 2% off, which is pretty much the exact number of a poison. So there you have it. Very excited that this comp exists. And again, awesome job to those of you that ended up theory crafting it and creating it. Very, very unique comp here. But that'll be it for this video. Let me know what you all think about this comp and if you are going to build it in the comments down below, and I'll see you for the next one.